Federal law enacted in May of 2018 under the Economic Growth, Regulatory Relief, and Consumer Protection Act required each of the credit reporting agencies to freeze and thaw your credit without a fee. Hey, so while I was working with a family member on her budget, I asked her about the $36 she was paying to Norton LifeLock every month. She said it was for identity theft protection. I told her that she could put a security freeze on her credit file for free. That would save her $432 a year. I can't speak to whether having LifeLock monitor your identity is worth it or not. I just know that in all the years that I've had a security freeze on my credit file, I've never had an issue with it. And by the way, LifeLock does not put a freeze on your credit file. They monitor your credit, like they do massive database searches and stuff, but they only let you know if something has already happened. It doesn't prevent it from happening. A security freeze generally does stop it from happening. So this is another line of defense you can do yourself, and it doesn't cost you anything but a few minutes of your time. So you just need to know if someone has access to your social security number and your date of birth. That's how they generally get to take out loans and credit cards in your name. But even if they have that and you have a security freeze on your credit file, it's not going to help them, because they also need the PIN to get into it, or they need to know a lot about your life to answer the security questions that the companies ask you. So it puts up some pretty good roadblocks. So years ago, prior to 2018, individual states passed laws that require the credit reporting agencies to allow you to freeze your credit, but they also allowed a fee for that. And sometimes the fee was for locking it. Most times, at least in my case, in the state I was in at the time, the freeze was for thawing it. So you would want to thaw your credit if you want to make a major purchase, and you need to apply for, an auto loan, a mortgage, or even a credit card. You have to thaw your credit to do that, because they all want to check your credit to see if you're worthwhile. So, federal law enacted in May of 2018 under the Economic Growth, Regulatory Relief, and Consumer Protection Act required each of the credit reporting agencies to freeze and thaw your credit without a fee. And I will link to the act in the description below so you can read it yourself. So it's very easy to do. You can do it all online. Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax have made it easy to accomplish this process online. In the dark ages, when I did it, we had to complete this process through the mail. It took a while. You'll need to create an account with each of the credit reporting agencies and then freeze your credit. And make sure that you do it with every agency, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Because if you don't, it's like locking one door of your house and leaving the other doors unlocked. Kind of defeats the purpose. And once you've placed those security freezes, each credit bureau will issue you a PIN, personal identification number, and you will need this number if you ever want to temporarily or permanently lift the freeze, also known as a thaw. You can thaw your credit for a day or two or longer, and once that time is up, it automatically refreezes without any further action on your part. And make sure when you get your PIN, you put it in a safe place, and remember where you put it. I speak from experience, having lost mine one time, and then I had to jump through a bunch of hoops to unfreeze it. They've made it a little less cumbersome now, where even if you don't have your PIN, you can answer a series of questions to verify your identity. So, to keep in mind, having a security freeze with the credit reporting agencies in no way affects the credit cards or loans you already have, but it will likely reduce the number of offers you receive in the mail. It will also prevent companies from checking your credit unnecessarily and potentially causing a drop in your credit score. Once you have a security freeze on your credit file, there are a limited There are a limited number of occasions when your credit report can be released without your authorization, and those are generally at the request of a government agency or to creditors with whom you already have an account. I look at this as another positive in that it can help curb impulse spending. You know how you're always tempted to, you're out shopping and somebody offers you this great offer but you can only get it if you sign up for the store credit card? We've all seen it. Very tempting. Ooh, save 35%, yay. And it's great if you can pay your credit cards off every month. Otherwise, the interest they charge you will very quickly eliminate that wonderful discount you got when you signed up. I mean, credit cards from department stores push anywhere from 20 to 30%. So, yeah, be careful. So anyway, that's the downside of having a freeze on your report. Not sorry, not really a downside. I mean, it's going to save you money, save you from impulse spending, because if you apply for a credit card and you have a freeze on your account, it's going to come back declined, and it's not because it's a reflection on your credit, it's because they couldn't access your credit. So it's a good thing, really. If you did want to get a loan like you're buying a car, you have to know that you have to plan ahead that you're going to unfreeze your credit. Wouldn't do that before you walk into the dealership, but you have time to do it. Even while you're sitting there, you can do it off your phone. Just unfreeze it for the amount of time they need to access it. Don't leave it unfrozen for the rest of the year or months on end. Just open it and close it long enough. If you're applying for a mortgage, the lender will want to have a credit report from all three agencies, so you have to unfreeze all three. But again, only lift it for as long as you need to. Let it go right back on, and it automatically goes back on. You don't have to go in and say, okay, now freeze it again. You just have to unfreeze it, specify the amount of time you want it unfrozen, and it will automatically refreeze. And one more thing I want to bring up. If you have children under the age of 16, freeze their credit too. Why would you want to do that? Identity theft. And you'd be surprised. Sometimes family members or acquaintances with poor credit will use the identity of someone without credit to establish new credit. So, you have a child and some family member or acquaintance somehow gets your child's full name and their social security number. They can open up credit in their name. I mean, they could choose a different date of birth because who's going to be the wiser? And then years down the line, when your child needs to open some kind of an account or apply for a student loan or whatever, bam, there it is. And they never applied for it. They didn't know it was there. And chances are pretty good their credit is ruined. Prevention's better than what the cure. And if you have a child that's 16 or older, guide them into putting a freeze on their account too. Okay, and one other thing I want to tell you about. Credit bureaus like to offer you something different. I wouldn't call it a bait and switch, but I would say that they try to be clever in how they present something to you. So sometimes they'll offer you a credit lock or a credit monitoring service, and that is not the same as a freeze. Be aware that the credit reporting agencies may try to get you to sign up for their credit locking or monitoring service. A freeze is free by law. Their credit lock or monitoring service is not. It's just another way for them to make some money. The freezes and thaws are very easy to do online. If for some reason you'd like to do it all by mail, you can do that too, but naturally it will take longer for everything to get processed. You can find everything for doing that at each of the credit reporting agencies. I've included the links to each of the credit reporting agencies in the description below. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will try to answer them. I'm Anita Braun, founder and coach at Money Life Coaching. If you like this video, please subscribe to be notified of the next video. And thank you for watching.